says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you lusting is the one you're loving?
So what do you, is that your hobby? I didn't know you was a runner.
She's
I am
participating.
no. I'm participating as a host. It's a
Oh, you're not running.
No, it's a HBCU 5K run. Now, what I do participate in is I teach self-defense. So you do know about me, Lamont.
Yeah, I do know that.
I am an active person, right? I'm
Yeah,
a
I do know
certified
that.
self-defense instructor. I got a program called Kicks and Comedy where I use a bit of levity for a very serious a situation. So I teach people how to kick ass. I mean, I've had mine kicked before, and it's not something that I would want for anybody else. And it was actually by a coworker. How about that?
Wait, hold on. Wait, time out. You on the job? Somebody put their hands on you, Vanessa?
They sure did while I was touring in Japan. It's very Googleable.
Oh my goodness. Did you?
And to know me is to love me. No, I lost, Chad. I did not win. That's why I was motivated.
So you came back. You was like, this will not happen again.
This will never happen again. And I'm in a male-dominated field. You know what I mean? Your safety and things like that, you really, truly have to consider. And traveling on the road where you don't have your people to, if I was in Chicago, I'd call my boys, hey, come on, let's run it. You know what I mean? But I'm in Japan. What am I supposed to do? And for us, you either, you fight, you flee, you freeze.
He big as hell, too.
Or you faint. So I froze up and watched myself get whooped on. So
he seemed like he would put his hands on a woman.
He did.
I see.
It ain't even he did do it.
All right. I'm gonna say his name after you leave, but
I'll say his name now. His name is Joe Torry. Because he was on Vlad talking about the situation and didn't quite describe it very well. I feel like nobody wants to talk about one of their not so good days. You don't want to talk about a bad day. You don't want to talk about one of your worst days, but you do have to take responsibility for your actions. You know what I mean? Don't say like it was, it was just crazy. You know how people get, or, it ain't none of that. You lost your cool. You put your hands on me. Yes, we did try to mediate it afterwards. Yes, you have to live through that. No, you didn't go to jail. But to say things like, I seen her the next day and she was, woke up like this fine. I'm a nice looking woman. That has nothing to do with what you did. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is just accountability, and let's move on. When someone asks you a question, you can simply say, look, that was not one of my better days. You know what I'm saying? I didn't behave in a way that made me proud. We have talked about it. We moved on. That was in 2008, and she's not here. So I'd rather not even get into all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and just leave it alone.
Yeah, but to
Don't
say
try
that
to make
is
it seem...
also to admit that you did something which could still be
you did.
culpable.
Take
Right, but I'm
responsibility.
saying, but you could still follow up maybe with a lawsuit. Okay,
He already
the statute
knows that
limitation.
I cannot.
Okay,
I cannot.
So
and I've
on
already told him that's not my will either. I could have done it then. And he knows what all we've been through in that. You know what I'm saying? Both of our fathers have passed since then. It's been a whole thing, and he knows it. So let's just keep it clean. You know what I mean? And just say it wasn't one of my better days. You know what I mean? I should have done things differently. But don't put it on me. Like it didn't happen. It happened.
You're obviously in a place now where you're comfortable enough to talk about it. Do you think you would be talking about it had he not did that interview?
Right now, I wouldn't have even said his name. I just would have said somebody. And if you took the time to go do that, because I've been doing it like that. But when you're on, he was on TV1. They did, what's that called? Unsung.
Yeah.
This came up. You know how they showing the pictures of you on the red carpet? I was glad they used some good pictures. But yeah, they talked about it then. And it was one of those things where he said, well, she hit me, I hit her. Sir, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try to make it less than what it was. And if you need help with PR or a good way to say it, I can help you with that. I'll send you an email of something comfortable to say. But let's take responsibility for our actions. We don't like to do it. I don't like to talk about my bad days, but sometimes I have to, because I have to hold myself accountable. And that's the way that you grow. And that's the way that you move on and teach somebody else something, or a lesson is learned. If you keep doing it like this, I don't feel, did you really learn a lesson? Do you understand how it affected me and how it still affects me as a woman? You know what I'm saying? And as a person that travels, we didn't have a relationship. And a lot of people like to think that it had something to do, something nefarious or something sexual. It was nothing like that. That is my brother. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But you also don't have a right to put your hands on me. And that's just it. That's it. But
it begs the question, too, of how many times you've done this and gotten away with it. Because there's a level of comfort if you feel like you can put your hands on somebody.
Close
period.
He didn't look comfortable. I'll tell you that. He didn't look comfortable, and he seemed very fussy, agitated. I don't know if he was going through something personally at the time. I'm not here to make excuses for people. You could have been on steroids. I don't know what with you? Excuse me, what the hell wrong with you? When it gets to a point, where you do something else, I mean, it's not my responsibility to know, but it is my responsibility to know what I can do when someone loses control and when someone doesn't know how to handle themselves.
So on Sunday, can you show a few moves for us?
I would absolutely love to. Okay. I would absolutely love to.
We're going to have some people in the audience. We'll have Lamont and you could demonstrate on him.
Oh, geez.
I'd love to, Lamont.
I like that. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So that's what I was going to ask. What does your class look like? Like, what did you...
We're going to see on Sunday, Lamont. We're going to see.
I'm trying to sell the class.
Well, briefly, too, we're putting together a college tour right now because I think it's especially important for young women to see it. So what that would look like is just that particular class where I'm teaching and I use comedy while I'm teaching. But then also I would have comedians with me and we have a comedy show afterwards, and that's for everybody. So I teach women, but then we have a comedy show later for everybody. If I'm in your city and I'm doing a class, then I'll take the time to do a few minutes of comedy up front, tell you my story, which is, I make it pretty funny, even though it's not, but I tell you that, and then we have fun all through the class. And if I have time, I do a little bit more comedy, but I just try to make sure that it's a very fun class, that you're laughing, you're enjoying yourself, and you're learning. And the learning part is the most important, but when you're laughing, you learn. So yeah, Kicks and Comedy. So if you want to know more about it, you can look me up at Vanessa Fraction or at Kicks and Comedy, and I can come to your city because I do travel.
Okay, so we're going to put this out. Lamont has the best people. Trump says he has the best people, but it's Lamont who actually has the best people. He does. This is which speaks to you as a person, because you can't attract goodness unless you're good, so
say that.
Yeah, so Lamont King. Vanessa, I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. And thank you for joining us on this wild tour that Lamont approached me with several a year ago.
It's been a year. It's a year,
a year ago, and I was like, yeah, sure.
Smart move. The people want to see you, honey. The people wants to see you, touch you, Yeah,
I guess. All right. Well, Vanessa, be safe out there on that run, and kick the comedy and do all of the good things. And we will see you next Sunday, Madame.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. Thank you for coming through.
As she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you love is the one